Back to the cage at Jennifer Oxendine.
Our next bout of the evening is brought to you by Mean Gear and is in the welterweight division. First, please welcome to the cage, William Ewers.
A great reaction for William Ewers, who is 1-0 from Adversity Training Center in Somerset, Kentucky. Stands 5'10", the 23-year-old, the opponent for Knoxville zone, and he's in enemy territory tonight against the Asian Persuasion Jason King, who is from Knoxville. But nice reaction there. He brought some fans over from Kentucky with him tonight.
Yeah. Well, we're not too far from the Kentucky border. We have a ton of fans. You know, of course, earlier Ben Rowland, he comes down from Corbin. And you know, so it's definitely a transitional region here. You know, we see a lot of people. Even Southwest Virginia, we see a lot of competitors. And as when we make it down there to the Chattanooga area, we see a lot of fans come from the Atlanta area and Georgia.
Again, this is a pro MMA bout in the welterweight division, and it's at 170 pounds. It'll be 3 5-minute rounds. Will Ewers, who is going through his final checks before entering the cage, and he completes those, is in the cage. The crowd responds. Back to the cage at Jennifer Oxendine.
And his opponent, please put your hands together for Jason King.
And a huge ovation.
Yeah,
for
he's the darling of Knoxville.
The Asian Persuasion is his nickname, Jason King, who's been at the MMA game since back in 2008 was his first amateur bout. Then took him 2 years to get back into it in 2010, but he turned pro in 2014, is 1-1-1. And Jason King in his hometown, the 26-year-old out of the KMAA camp out of Knoxville at 6'3". And he is pumped up as we take a look at the tail of the tape. You see the difference, the record difference there. A couple of extra fights under the belt of Jason King. King 3 years older than William Ewers. And then there's that height difference that you've talked about, Casey. King 5 inches taller and then weighed in 2 pounds heavier.
Yeah, he looked at the weigh-ins. Jason King looked like an absolute giant towering over William Ewers. Now, of course, you got to know that the difference in that weight is going to be right there in the legs of Ewers, that strength and that power, where that length and that ranginess of Jason King, that's where he's carrying his weight.
Our judges here tonight, James Lyles, Thomas Brooks, Lisa Duran, throughout all of Valor Fights 30 here at the International in Knoxville, Tennessee, alongside Casey Oxendine. I'm Vince Ferrara. Our timekeeper is Chandler Goins, and we've had a tremendous card so far tonight. You can find out about upcoming events at valorfights.com. You can find them on their Facebook page and on Twitter as well for live event information and breaking news. All right, back to the cage. Fighter official introductions here, Jennifer Oxendine.
This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. First, fighting out of the Hogs Rent corner. He weighed in at 169 pounds, holds a record of 1 win and no defeats, and represents Adversity Training Center in Somerset, Kentucky. Give it up for Iron Will William Ewers. And his opponent, fighting out of the OEB blue corner. He weighed in at 170 pounds, holds a record of 1 win and 1 defeat, and represents KMAA in Knoxville, Tennessee. Put your hands together for the Asian Persuasion, Jason King. Your referee for this fight is Josh Ward.
Josh Ward, our referee. William Ewers in the black trunks and Jason King in the burgundy trunks. This is a welterweight bout at 170 pounds. Pro bout, 3 5-minute rounds. Josh Ward, our referee, and we are ready to go, Casey.
Here we go. As you see, we're going to have a touch of gloves here. Nice. Jason King already landing those shots. William Ewers closing the distance, but again, Jason King so rangy, so long, hard to get a hold of, even for a solid wrestler.
Is Jason King going to be, he hasn't so far, but is that going to be a concern for him to throw those leg kicks when maybe Ewers might want to take him down?
Well, I think that Ewers is going to do everything he can to keep close and prevent that distance from happening. If Jason King can cool him off just a little bit, prevent him from getting to the takedown, getting on top, and doing what he wants to do, and then we'll see him be able to implement his game a lot better.
Jason King up against the cage, eats a left from Ewers. Corner viewers telling him to keep the pressure on King.
Jason King doing a really good job there, and virtually no danger of the takedown right now. Look at this, he's using that whizzer with his left arm to keep the right arm of William Ewers high, preventing him, of course, from dropping to the single leg takedown. Now, Ewers now has that body lock. He's having to let go of it because Jason King did swim it in. This grip fighting can be extremely tiresome.
Minute and a half gone by in round number 1 in this pro MMA bout.
Ewers staying as active as he can be. You know, you run the risk here, especially as the fight progresses. If there's not a lot of action going on, then you'll see the referee start to split these guys up. That's something that Ewers does not want to see. Now Jason King has reversed the position, and then Ewers again reverses.
What do you think the end is for Ewers? Is he trying to?
He's trying to get the hips.
Right.
He's trying to get the hips, but the whizzer of Jason King is too good, and it looked like he was getting ready to slip out the back there. Ewers chased him down. It's going to depend largely on Ewers' ability to maintain a hard work rate here because he's having to use a lot of energy.
Those long knees from King.
Yep, undoubtedly.
And Ewers sends one back.
Oh, here we go. Jason King looking for a trip of his own here. Oh, here we go. Ewers, he has the single here, and he gets the takedown into crossbody position. And he does have the underhook. Now, Jason King is very long and rangy. He will be looking for the lateral, which he achieved right there, and that was what I suspected.
As you were talking about it, very impressive. Boy, when you have that frame, you can do those things.
Unbelievably. Now, Ewers is underneath the half guard position, and it looks like Jason King looking to set up possibly an arm triangle. He's not been known in his fights to use a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but is known for to be a very competent submission guy in the gym.
In his amateur career, had a submission win over Travis Chitwood back in 2013 via guillotine.
Now Jason King, look at this, looking to get high. Watch out, watch out. Jason King might pull that guillotine choke position. Jason King really tall with that guillotine. He sinks that thing in. It could be curtains. William Ewers needs to abort. He needs to abort that single leg and defend that choke.
Went the takedown route and he got out of it.
And now look at this. Jason King sort of locking him down here. Looking for possibly a triangle choke. Some Eddie Bravo style business here.
Wow.
Looking good. Looking good, trying to pull that arm out. And Ewers may be caught, and he survives it and now ends up in the full guard of Jason King.
Great defense by Ewers.
Oh, and he locks up the triangle yet again. Ewers slips it yet again, moves the crossbody. Now, we saw it before. Jason King, he needs to watch because Jason's got that beautiful lateral. He could go for yet another ride.
20 seconds left in round number 1.
Jason King doesn't seem to be in any danger, doesn't feel to be in any danger right here. He may look to ride this one out. It's hard to say, you know, Ewers did land the takedown. He did spend more time in the offense. He may have taken that first round.
Very interesting first
Very
round.
close. Very, yes. He did secure the takedown. I don't believe that Jason King secured any takedowns. He actually hit the lateral, ended up on top for a period of time. If I'm in the corner of each man, I'm going to be saying, who knows who took that round, because these judges are going to score based on their bias of the style, I believe.
So you take the approach, if you're in the corner, of assuming a lost round when it's that close or unknown.
If I had to lay money, I would give it to Ewers, simply because he did control the cage. He did land the takedowns, 2 of them, and even though he did spend some time on bottom, he was able to really be active. So I would give it to Ewers, but that's not to say that another judge might not have scored it the other way. I don't know.
Key for King, keep the distance.
Absolutely. And the longer this fight goes, the better off Jason King is.
All right. Josh Ward, our referee, looks over both corners, and we have a timeout. And they're going to need to wipe off some of the liquid in one of the corners nearby. Jason King, and
look for Jason King right now coming out in this second round to be extremely dangerous, as he was in the first one. He's going to throw those kicks. He's going to land some shots. And, if Ewers is able to close the distance quickly, then he may be where he wants to be.
And again, King not afraid to throw a kick, but then it leads to Ewers.
And now securing the takedown pretty quickly there, the first 15 seconds of round 2. And he continues to drive. Jason King doing a great job, though, still in an upright position on his butt there. Hard for Ewers to do much of anything right there.
King
Look for Ewers to try to pull Jason King off of the cage. And Jason King, he continues to get up. If he does need to watch, though, Ewers to take his back when he does make that turn. That is always a possibility. And Ewers secures the takedown in half guard position. Now, we are still very close to the cage. Jason King has those long legs. He might reach him up in there and start to try to elevate. So that's something that Ewers also needs to watch out for.
That's one of those things that an extra advantage he has with that height.
Now, in my opinion, and I always carry on about this half guard position is a great position for the top guy, especially the grinder wrestler, because now it's much more difficult for Jason King to escape. And then also, Jason King with the cage there up next to it, yes, he can grab it with his feet possibly, but he can't lateral, because if he tries to lateral, the cage is there. It's doing the work for Ewers. He doesn't have to worry about that.
So far, King has avoided too much damage, but Ewers looks like he is very close to maybe being able to go for an elbow. That has not happened yet.
No, and Ewers is going to have to stay busy. Look for Josh Ward, our referee, to insist on the activity level here. But as soon as I say that, he moves a little bit and allows Ewers to continue those transitions. Really what Ewers wants here. Here we go. Jason King looking for the semblance of a triangle there. We saw him attack it twice in the first round, and Ewers real tight slipped it out. As Ewers starts to become tired, he needs to watch for it. This is a mistake in my estimation. Here comes the ankle.
Oh, I think his corner was calling for it too.
Yeah, I would stay in crossbody, stay in half guard. Mount position on a fighter as long and lanky as Jason King is extremely dangerous.
And you saw King immediately go for offense.
Heck yeah. Ewers, though, it seems like Jason King was not able to react as quickly as you can see him breathing slightly heavy. Jason King getting those feet into that cage. He's going to have to really start moving.
Big knees on King by Ewers.
Yeah, and I feel like that King is starting to slow down here. Again, that's something we saw against Trundle in the last fight. He towards the end of the round, after about a round and a half of the grind, he started to slow.
He hasn't been the distance very much, only one time in his amateur and pro career.
Here we go. Ewers looking to possibly try to sink in the north-south choke. Jason King defending wisely. Look for Jason King to explode here in a second, possibly with a lateral. He's been just too calm. I think he's gonna. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you can almost feel it. He has great hips, great explosion. He's taking his time. He's relaxed, but he's gonna have to get the business going here because he could be in some trouble on the scorecards.
It's hard to get a choke on a guy that much taller than you, right?
I don't know. If he gets that. If I'm Ewers, I would want to. Unable to complete the takedown. Jason King using a lot of energy here to fight against the referee, or I'm sorry, against the wrestler. And but you're right. Ewers unable to secure that guillotine choke.
Final 30 seconds.
Jason King on top.
See if King has enough time to get some offense going. 20 seconds left.
Because you got Ewers still working for that guillotine choke. But it could be Ewers possibly cooling off himself a little bit, possibly moving into the third, giving Jason King the opportunity to advance. I don't think it's going to be enough for Jason King to secure the round, though.
Shots to the body by King, but.
And you can see Ewers pretty tired right here, and this is going to be Ewers' fight to lose in my estimation.
So 2 rounds to none, you think?
Yeah, look
Ewers?
at this. He's a little bit wobbly. Jason King, he's fatigued, but I don't think he's as fatigued and tired as William Ewers here.
You know, Ewers controlled the 2 rounds, but especially in that second round, but there wasn't a ton of damage necessarily on King as you take a look at here.
No, and here you see Ewers going for that guillotine choke. Jason King looking for that takedown, unable to secure the takedown right out, but Ewers then almost kind of submitting to it just after that and ending up in the guard position.
There you see our ring girls, Minxie and Jennifer, here at Valor Fights 30 at the International.
And as I mentioned in some of Ewers' previous fights, third round, you know, I've seen him being dominant in the first 2 rounds and then come out in the third and really his work rate diminish and it caused him to get TKO'd. So is that going to happen again? Are we going to see that repeat itself?
Iron Will Ewers in the Asian Persuasion, Jason King. Ewers in the black trunks, King in the burgundy.
This is really Jason King's moment to shine.
Double hand touch, and we're underway. Third round of 5 scheduled.
Ewers choosing to strike. You know what that means. When the wrestler chooses to strike with the sharpshooting striker, it means he's tired.
Now gets King back against the cage.
Yep.
Did he see enough of the strikes and say, all right, I got to go back to the original?
I believe so. I think that Jason King started to fire back. It could have been that Ewers was worried that, you know, he wasn't going to have the gas to get it right out of the gate. He wanted to see if he can land a shot or 2 and cool off Jason King. He started getting zapped there.
Anytime King has spun him around, Ewers has been able to spin it back. Wow.
There we go. Now, Ewers a little bit tired. This is the moment to see if Jason King's submission game can be implemented. They are a little bit wet here.
Yep.
Which it works in the favor of Ewers, but at the same time, it also the fatigue also has set in on the part of Ewers. Great overhook there by the left arm of Jason King. Watch for him to try to climb up and look for the triangle choke. Get that right leg over the shoulder, the left shoulder of William Ewers.
King has stuck some punches from the bottom. Fans booing here.
Yeah, well, the fight says, you know, there we go. Exactly, just what I said.
There it is.
And now it's tight. This one is tight.
Now the fans are into it. Can Jason King get the finish?
Oh, that's tight. That's
Tap.
it.
Wow.
And Jason King finishes. You know, I'm somewhat of a swami. You know what I'm saying? Did it?
You know a little bit about it.
Woo!
Outstanding.
Yeah. What a win there by Jason King. Jason exhausted.
3:05 in round number 2. Jason King gets the finish, the submission win. Here it is. Wow, just cranked it. King is exhausted.
Yeah, absolutely exhausted.
Wow, what a win. Very impressive for the Asian Persuasion. And the fans had just started to boo, and then they saw that King was going to be able to submit Ewers, and he gets the finish. Jason King from that terrific KMAA camp here in Knoxville, Tennessee, the 26-year-old moves to 2-1 with 1 no contest in his career. First pro loss, I should say, as a professional for Jason King. First pro loss for Will Ewers, who falls to 1-1. All right, to the cage for our announcement of our winner. Here's Jennifer Oxenine.
Your referee stops this fight at 1 minute and 56 seconds into the 3rd round for your winner via triangle submission out of the OEB blue corner, the Asian Persuasion, Jason King.
Congratulations to Jason King, the winner in this pro welterweight MMA bout here tonight at Valor Fights 30 at the International in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm Vince Ferrara with Casey Oxendine. Casey is going to talk to our winner, Jason King, here in just a moment. Couple reminders for you. Upcoming bouts: Valor Fights 31, February 27th, Chattanooga Sports Complex in Hickson, Tennessee. 2 pro title fights. It's the first time we've seen that. March 19th, it's Apex Fights 10 in Kingsport at the Civic Auditorium.
All right, I am here with your winner, KMAA champion, Jason King. Man, I'll tell you what, you were able to endure. In your last fight, we saw it against Trundle. He was able to grind you, keep the pressure on you, and he eventually gained the victory. You were able to endure this time. It was the same kind of protocol here, except you lasted and lasted. Then you were able to put that submission in there, the triangle choke victory. Talk about this fight.
Hey everybody, before I talk about that fight, ATC out of Kentucky, my opponent William Ewers, he's a United States military veteran. He's the real hero here, guys. These guys are the real heroes. All I do is fight in a cage. That's way easier than what these guys do. So shout out to William Ewers for all he does for our country. Shout out to ACC.
All right, everybody, let's hear it for the Asian Persuasion, Jason King.